Yo, Surreal Talk Radio, your man, Calico the Surrealist on WPRK 91.5 FM Winter Park, kicking it at the dark with our special guests. Yes, indeed, we got a hot show lined up tonight. We're going to set things off with my surreal topic of the day. Got music from around the way. We got our throwback track and my favorite part of the show, the Pump It or Dump It. Y'all get to call in, talk to us about the music we playing and everything we saying right here on Surreal Talk Radio. All right. My special guest chilling with us tonight. This sister right here done did a thing on the Billboard charts. She's a certified hit maker, platinum selling R&B singer, songwriter, actress, and now a little bit of chef. I see a chef on this thing, man. We're going to have to talk about that. We got the one and only Miss Adina Howard on the line. You know?
Hey.
All right. How you doing?
Blessed and marinated in divine favor. How about you?
I'm trying to follow all that. I'm blessed. I am blessed. The rest of that stuff, I'm
marinated in divine favor. Yes.
All right. All of that. Yeah. I'm back at you. Right back at you. All right. So I got my co-host in here rocking with me, Miss Lorinda, DJ Lorinda in the building.
Hello.
All right.
Blessings, Queen.
Blessings,
all right.
Queen. How are you?
Want you to
marinated in divine favor. It don't change.
All right.
And if it does, it gets better.
Okay.
DJ Lorinda in the building with me. All right. Well, listen, man. First of all, before we get deep into it, I want to thank you so much for doing our show, helping us grow our platform.
You're welcome.
We appreciate that. But yeah, let's get right into it with my surreal topic of the day. My topic tonight is understanding Adina Howard. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to get into some understanding. We're going to get into some overstanding. Yes, there is a difference. On a surface level, we know Adina Howard as a straight freak.
Right.
All right, well, let's dissect this thing, So first of all, I want to ask you, how would you describe yourself?
I just said, you know what? I am a human being being human, living this life on my journey. Praying that I learn all the lessons that I'm supposed to learn and get all the blessings that I'm supposed to get.
I heard that. Okay. Well, one thing apparent, you definitely keep yourself up physically, still very attractive.
Gracias.
Yeah, things of that nature. Emotionally, what type of person are you?
What type of person am I emotionally? To the best of my ability, I am, working on emotional maturity and emotional intelligence. I think that's very important because life is too short and too long at the same time to be immature and creating havoc and headache for yourself.
Amen.
One of the things I recognize in life is that you are the reason for your season. And if you are not where you need to be, you will create a lot of shenanigans and conundrum. So for me, where I am right now is really just working on being the blessed version that I can be for myself, because when I'm right with myself, I can be right with everyone else.
Nice. Okay. Artistic. I want to ask you, to describe yourself as an artist.
As an artist, I like to color outside the lines.
I like that.
It's so much more fun. It's a lot more freedom. And there's no restraint. So that's where I am with that.
Okay. Spiritual views. Is that something we could talk about?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, yeah, are you like religious or tell us?
So I have a relationship, not a religion. I think that religion is one of the reasons why we are in the conundrum that we are in today, especially in this country, because people are really focusing on religion and not relationship. And I believe this is my thought. If you have a relationship with God, then you really shouldn't have an issue with having a relationship with other people. And you happen to see other people through the lens that God has, placed before you versus the human lens. And I think that a lot of times what happens is when we have a religion, we start to judge others based on what we were taught when it comes to someone else's interpretation of what they think that religion and that book should be. But when you have a relationship with God, you treat others the way that you desire to be treated. And you follow the commandments, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. You know, and if I think we had that relationship and followed that route, we would be a whole lot better off than we are today.
I agree with you. Yeah, I want to ask you, you know, is there any conflict with, you know, your spiritual views with the, you know, basically like the way you carry yourself?
No, because if I'm like this, I don't have a problem with me. And if God feels like I need to be straightened out, I get the gentle nudge.
Okay. And now, as far as music, have you ever recorded a record that you wouldn't release? Because you know you're a songwriter too. Have you ever recorded a record that you wouldn't release because maybe it was just too personal?
I haven't gotten there yet. The most personal song that I have that's been released is I Overstand. And clearly I released that. So I feel like this, if there's a space of shame, when it comes to your creativity, there's a lot of growth that needs to take place. And when it's all said and done, there's somebody out there that went through the same thing that you went through. And you releasing that type of art can help someone else embrace where they are, you know, along their journey. So for me, no. And I just really don't believe that if I were to create something that I would be ashamed of it. It shouldn't be created for me. Got you.
Okay, cool. So we talked a little bit about Adina Howard, the person, the artist. I want to say like a little bit about your purpose. How do you balance all of that? Like, how do you balance your personal life, your business life, and things like that?
For me, it's not about balance. It's just about finding a flow, finding a rhythm. Because at the end of the day, whatever is supposed to take place is going to take place. And I recognize that for me in my life, what I'm doing in that moment is what I'm supposed to be doing in that moment. And I recognize that if I am distracted or off track, then it's like, okay, you need to pull yourself back and get, you know, back in line with what it is you need to do. And for me, it's not even a concern of whether, you know, I am balancing personal and professional. It's just living my life and finding the rhythm and flow of it all and keeping it moving.
Okay. All right. Well, the group Escape, they gave us the Understanding record, and you got the new music out. You now gave us the I Overstand record. We're definitely going to talk about that. But first, I want to open up the hotlines. Anybody want to call in and talk about our topic? We talking about understanding Adina Howard. If you want to call in and give a shout out, remember we on the radio, so keep the calls brief and no profanity. Also, if you want to participate in our next segment, which is the Pump It or Dump It, I'm about to play some local music right here. I want to get some professional critique from Miss Howard here. Ultimately, we want to know, should we pump or dump this next song I'm about to play? And the phone number is 407-646-2915. Again, 407-646-2915. The name of the artist I'm about to play, his name is Alonzo, and the name of this song right here is called Love, right here on Surreal Talk Radio. Check it out. People be playing, man. They be playing. Anyways, listen, man, in the meantime, we're gonna take some more calls, 407-646-2915. In the meantime, we're going to get real live with Miss Adina Howard and find out more about her. So Adina Marie Howard, this is your government name. I want to know why never no stage name?
First of all, let me just say this real quick since you put me out there like that. Tell them my whole MFN name.
Yeah. Let me take this.
I was born Adina Marie Walker.
Let me take this one and we'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Surreal Talk Radio, you live.
Yes, I have a question for Miss Adina Howard.
All right, let's get it.
Okay. Am I on now?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, goddess.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to greet you. I was listening to your story and your wisdom on there, and I felt the urge to ask you, as a singer, have you ever reached a place where you felt flat and like you didn't have the creative drive to sing anymore? And if so, what did you do to get it back?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
that's a very good question. So, yes, the answer is yes. I felt like I had, for the most part, crossed that threshold, and that part of the journey was what it was supposed to be. And it was time for me to move on to something else. And so in the process, when I did fall flat and just wasn't inspired by music anymore, I went back to school and got my associate's degree in culinary. And once I worked as a line cook for 2 years at the restaurant called Coast Inn at the Sheridan Wild Horse Pass Resort in Chandler, Arizona. Just going through that process, and then eventually just getting back into a space with appreciating music and the opportunity to be on the road and being able to do it where I had more control over it versus it being controlled for me. Mm-hmm. And so finding that space to be able to just do me and not have to fall in line with the expectations of others, I was able to get that drive back.
Okay.
Sometimes you never miss a good thing until it's gone.
Right. All right. Well, I love those kind of stories right there, and that was a good question. I thought my question was pretty good too. I'm asking you about why you never had a stage name. You about to give it to me because I put your name out there. But this is on Google,
right? Right. So when I met my first manager, Livio Harris, I was legally Adina Howard Walker. My mother gave us, we were able to have both our mother's last name and our dad's last name. So for a great deal of time, me and my sisters were hyphenated. And when I met my first manager, we were picking, the names. And one of the things that he said was Howard has a better ring. Mm-hmm. And so we went with Adina Howard.
Okay.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Like Michael Jackson, Adina Howard. I got you. So you was born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan, some time over in Phoenix, Arizona. What can you tell us about coming up over there?
Growing up in Mesa, Arizona, or in Grand Rapids, Michigan?
Just your upbringing, period. Like, because you kind of was raised in a little bit of both, right?
Yeah, so half my life was the Midwest, the other half was the West Coast. And yeah, Arizona, California, that's all West Coast. So
yeah,
it was just, what, my upbringing was blessed, to say the least. Like I think any person growing up in humanity, regardless of where you are, you're going to have your drama and your trauma. Mm-hmm. And, my life isn't short of drama and or trauma. It's just managing it in a way where I am able to recognize that in spite of what's taking place in my life, it's helping to grow me, not throw me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And so just really embracing and recognizing that this is part of my journey. And of course, hindsight is what it is. Mm-hmm. But just really appreciating my mother raising 4 girls by herself and my dad going through his trials and tribulations and developing a better relationship with him later in life, but also recognizing that in the earlier stages of my life, him not being present and him living his life and experiencing his journey as he was supposed to experience it, that it all shaped the woman that I am today. And so with everything that took place in my life, the speed humps and the pitfalls and all of that, it's honestly, at the end of the day, I wouldn't change it, because if anything slightly had changed, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't be who I am today. And so just, embracing it and accepting it for what it is and not taking things personal, but taking them in a space and place where it's like, what, this is what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And just the living with that.
All right. I think you kind of answered my next question here, but I want to ask you, basically I wanted you to shout out one person, right? If you had to shout out one person that helped you become the woman that you are today, who would that be? Or the first person that come to mind?
Yep. You broke up on me. I can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was asking you, if you had to shout out one person that helped you become the woman that you are today, who would that be?
God.
There it is. Hey.
Hallelujah.
Hey.
You know, I gotta shout out God, because at the end of the day, God is my glue. Mm-hmm. Like, if it weren't for the Creator, like, seriously, I don't know where I would be. If I didn't have the provision and the protection, I wouldn't have been safe and secure, and things could have went all the way left. And thank God I am in the middle and on the right side of it.
Amen to that. If it wasn't for music, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
You know, I am assuming that it would be criminal justice, forensic psychology, because that was one of the things that I was in school, for forensic psychology and wanting to just track down serial killers and things of that nature. So that was really my interest.
You know what's crazy? I asked Tiny from Escape the same thing. She said the same exact thing. That's like, I don't know what's up with this. This is like crazy. All right. Y'all got that in common. That's what's up. Let's talk about music for a second here.
Okay.
I have a sentence that I want you to help me finish.
Okay.
All right. So, I fell in love with R&B when I first heard blank.
Damn. That's an FCC word, by the way.
You good. You good with that one. You get one.
Oh, man. Okay, so...
You need a lifeline. London, where you at?
No, I don't need it. Like London right over here too. London, So that's interesting, because I could say at a young age, I fell in love with R&B when I first heard Michael Jackson.
There it is.
Like Jackson 5s.
I love Michael Jackson, yeah.
Because, I used to keep, it's interesting, it's like back in the day when we lived in Grand Rapids growing up.
Yeah.
He was in Grand Rapids to do a show, like the Jackson 5s.
Yeah.
And I found a news article, and I cut it out and I put it underneath my pillow, just knowing he was going to show up.
Okay. All right. Well, I got some juicy stuff I want to get to, but I just want to get a little bit more. I just want to get an idea of your musical taste, so I want to play this little game with you. I'm going to pick two artists, and I want you to choose one. Tell us which one you go with, just so we can get a taste of your musical taste. Remember the group Total?
Yeah.
Okay, so Total versus Escape. You had to choose one.
This is so not fair.
Got to choose one.
This is so not fair, but I'm going to say Escape.
Escape.
Because I grew up listening to them before I became, quote unquote, the Adina Howard.
Okay then.
I used to record their music on the from the radio on my cassette.
Nice. All right. Round two. Janet Jackson. Ooh, this one's going to be... I know this is going to be a good one. Janet Jackson versus Madonna.
Madonna.
See, was y'all ready for that?
Yeah.
See, y'all wasn't ready for that. I knew y'all were. See, y'all thought they were.
And I'm going to tell you why. I grew up listening to Janet, and I love Janet. But it was something about Madonna that tapped into the bad girl in me.
Well, Janet had a little bad streak in her too now.
Nah. She had to be Jackson
Penny.
good.
She was Penny though, yeah.
She had to be. She. There was an expectation that she had, and don't get me wrong. If I could have danced like her, I probably would have said Janet. But I'm not that chick, right?
All right.
So Madonna she always was able to tap into that taboo side of me.
I like it. All right, let's do one more round, a little more current this time. Victoria Monet or Tiana Taylor?
I'm biased. Tiana Taylor. I love me some Tiana Taylor. She's a beast.
Okay, Lorinda got a hand clap for you on that one. All right. Let's talk about how you got started. 1995, your debut album drops. I want to know how far back you go with the singing before this album.
Man, I go back, like way back, like 6-7 years old way back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom used to make me sing as a kid.
6, 7 years old. Okay, then.
Mm-hmm.
First grade, singing it up. I got you.
Yeah.
And you're a songwriter as well. Want to know your favorite subject to write about? And you know, I know everybody gonna be sex, stupid sex. But now, what's your favorite subject to write about?
You know what? My favorite
fool.
subject
Sex.
to write about for me is where I am in that moment of life.
Okay.
So there's not a specific subject matter because there are moments where life is not so specific.
Yeah. Okay. I know people are like, she lied. She was sex.
I didn't even, but this is the thing. I didn't write those songs. I chose those songs.
We get into, all right, we're going to get into that. So let's talk about your vocal range because I want to, I really want to say something about this, but I want to hear you out first. Your vocal range, what do you say? Soprano, alto, baritone?
I'm alto.
Alto. Okay, alto.
Mm-hmm.
This is my opinion. I don't think you get the credit you deserve vocally. And I'm going to explain that in a minute, as we take a look at your work. 5 studio albums. Do You Want to Ride, 1995, Certified Gold album. I want to talk about this album cover for a minute.
Okay.
All right? Because now, this is personal. As a 16-year-old boy, I started my CD collection kind of unorthodox. Well, it was a weird way. There was this thing called the Columbia House Music Club. Yeah. They had this offer for 1 penny, you get 10 CDs mailed to you.
I remember that.
Yeah, this is how I started my CD collection. So Adina Howard was one of my first CDs, and man, them black shorts. No, we talking as a 16-year-old. We gotta understand a 16-year-old boy. Plus, you gotta understand this is what, like 95, somewhere around there.
95.
Yeah, this is a whole different, like, what's going on now. People probably look at that album cover, man, like, man, this ain't nothing but somebody in some short. But back then, that was a whole. Look, man, that's my surreal moment. My burp. So, anyways, man, listen, this was one of my favorite albums for all the wrong reasons. All right.
Why does it have to be wrong?
It was wrong for me. I'm telling you, I'm speaking right now. But let's get back to this. You had you had a great voice. Let me take this call and we get back to that. Huh? Surreal Talk Radio, you live. Oh, it's hung up. Yeah, so you had a great voice on this particular album, Do You Want to Ride album. My favorite song on there, You Don't Have to Cry. Song with you, Michael Speaks. Yeah, man. Awesome cover song. And I, do you feel you get the respect vocally, like for your vocals? Or like, I feel like the Freak Like Me created like this glass ceiling, and it kind of takes away from your talent, if you would. Do you ever feel that way?
No, but I get it.
Okay.
I definitely get it, because at the end of the day, one of the things that people have to understand about the industry that I'm in, it's the entertainment business. It's not the singing business. Mm-hmm. It's the music business, not the singing business. Mm-hmm. And so what is focused on is not so much the ability to sing, but the ability to generate interest and income. And so that's, because if you pay attention to a lot of the people that have made it big in the industry, there are quite a few that can't sing worth a damn, but they're very successful because they had the it factor and they were able to, captivate and engage a person. And one of the things that we also have to understand is the masses can't sing. There's a designated number of us that can sing, but the majority of people can't sing. And so when you have individuals who can hold a note and can, make you sound good in your car or in your shower, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's the right type of vibe, the energy, the lyrics, then that's what's going to go. Yeah. Well, and usually as artists, 9.5 times out of 10, we're not caring, whether or not it's showcasing the best vocals to a certain degree. Yeah. We're, for the most part, going to work. And we don't have control over that aspect, because we may think a vocal is great, but then the label or whomever is choosing, you know, the songwriter or the producer may be like, no, that's the better vocal. You'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Since you're not really paying for the song, but you're paying for the song,
right,
you're going to kind of rock with who's paying for the song until you recoup.
Yeah, but see, you really can sing though. So that's where, like you mentioned earlier, you chose these particular records to sing. Like, okay, song selection. Why?
Why not? It represented who I was in that space and time, in that moment of my life.
Okay.
It wasn't about, you know, singing. It was really about representing who I was and where I am in my life at that moment.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. And so even now, you know, yeah, I can sing. I sing better than people, you know, could probably ever imagine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's not even about being the best vocalist in the world. It's just, for me, representing who I am and where I am in the moment when I am singing.
Okay, I can respect that answer. I definitely understand you. Yeah, I can respect that. So we all know, you know, the Freak Like Me, platinum selling record, you know, timeless record, huge impact on the game. In my opinion, it paved the way for like the Sexy Reds, the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, you know.
All my nieces.
Okay, then, yeah.
All my nieces and little sisters.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, they took a page, you know, from the Adina Howard book. Female empowerment. This is something, you know, it's big for you. Why?
You know, it's automatically I'm going to say why not. For me, it's like women need to always have a safe place to be able to express themselves. And, you know, a lot of the time, most of us don't want to be the first to the party, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you are the first to the party, you don't want to be the first on the dance floor.
Okay.
And I'm okay with being first to the party and the first on the dance floor. And if that means that at the end of the day, I make it comfortable for everyone else, every other female to come along
mm-hmm.
and join me, then let's get it. You know, it's one of those things that if not me, then who? And I'm okay with it being me, and opening that door and looking at these young females thrive in a space that I was able to help create for them.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you know, I'm all about empowerment. I'm all about, you know, expressing yourself, you know, when it comes to your craft, your creativity, your art. Go get it. And if people don't understand it, it's okay. It ain't meant for everybody to understand. It's meant for you to, you know, stay in your lane and shine in your lane and ride it.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had any conversations with, you know, some artists that came after you that maybe came to you and told you, you know, like, I was inspired by you, or anything like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I'm grateful. I'm humbled and I'm honored that I was able to make it that much easier for them to be able to express themselves in a way where there's no shame and no guilt about it.
Yeah. The Freak Like Me record, one more question I want to ask you about this is your biggest record. It's kind of like what we know you as.
Mm-hmm.
Adina
I
Howard.
got to know me for.
Freak Like Me, yeah. What does this record mean to you?
It means nothing.
It means nothing.
You know, let me say, it means everything and nothing at the same time.
Okay.
So it means everything in the sense that if it weren't for the record, you wouldn't know Adina Howard, right?
Right.
And so in that space, you know, it's everything, mm-hmm. but nothing in the space that was a place and time in my life where it has come and gone, mm-hmm. and moving on.
Ah, okay.
Because who I was is not who I am.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because, you know, that's what I'm saying. We define, like, I don't think we can think about Adina Howard, you know, without thinking, hey, she's a freak, you know, like that's the type of, I don't know, man, like, I don't know. But yeah, I can.
But you know what? I think that's a given because, again, and one of the things that I tell artists these days, you know, is be mindful of how you debut because that's how people will continue to see you and want to continue to see you.
Right.
And so I think that when you revert back to, ooh, freak, da-da-da-da-da, I mean, it's what it is, you know, because I've cemented myself in history in that space that left an indelible mark that just at the end of the day is going to forever remain.
Yeah. Because, you know, I think a lot of people are just going to associate and say, you know, Adina Howard, music, very seductive. We're going to definitely talk about this this new Overstand record to get your views on maybe, you know, evolution or something like that. Get to that in a second. I'm kind of going through this chronological.
Okay.
The second record, The Second Coming, which actually wasn't the second record. It just happened to come out second, right?
Right.
Yeah. And this is where we get the T-shirt and panties with Jamie Foxx. And on my end of things, you know, I don't really know what's safe to talk about with this. I'm going to just say, you know, it was a good song, good music, you know. So Private Show 2007, 10 years later, you got The Resurrection. Welcome to Fantasy Island in 2021. And I want to ask you, is there anything at this stage in the game that you still want to accomplish, like musically?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I've been in it for 30 years and counting. And everything that I wanted to do, for the most part, if I was ever thinking about doing anything specifically at all, it's pretty much been done. I'm grateful for what I've done, who I've done it with, and I'm at a space of peace. So I'm just like hosting.
Right, and you can kind of live off of these records. So you just mentioned something.
Ain't no kinda. I'm living off of the records.
Hey, listen.
Ain't no kinda at all. If it weren't for those records, the broad would not be working.
I stand corrected. You've mentioned something about working with people, and this is right where I want to go with this. Bone Thugs and Harmony, my favorite rap group of all time. Yeah. You've worked with Crazy Bone and Busy Bone, and
yes.
Want to know, what was it like working with them?
It was work. It was like, it wasn't anything like mind blowing and special. I think that when you're working with people who are in the same industry as you, there's a level of respect, mutual respect that you have for one another. And they are your cohorts, your coworkers or whatever the case may be. It's just like, okay, let's get it. Okay. Let's try to make this better than they expect it to be. And let's exceed expectation and let's go have fun with it.
Now, from an artist, I understand that. But, from the fans, we look at these dudes like, they did songs with Pac, Biggie, Easy, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when they hook up with somebody and they do a record, we're like, man, what was it like, to, be in the studio with Biggie and Bone? And so, that's why we ask you these questions. Because,
well, see, I'm not a fan.
Right.
So,
right. That's what I'm different.
Although I will say this. Before I stepped on the scene, there was Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I love their music. Boom, 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 boom. Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what.
Trust me, I'm there, but I wasn't like fanning out though.
Okay. I should have asked them that question. I should have asked them that.
Probably would have told you the same thing.
That was more of a question.
It was cool with working with Adina. She chill. She real easy.
I think Busy would been like, yeah, man, working with a freak.
Anyway, you know what? Busy was so not in that space.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that people fail to understand is that we are very professional beings, in spite of what you all may see, because you all get the edited version. we're very professional for the most part. When like no one was trying to get at me, there was no inappropriate conversation. We just went to work. Okay. Because one of the things that we recognize is time is money. Right. When you're in that studio, you're paying for that time, and nobody has time for you to be playing games with their time or their money.
Right.
That has to be recouped.
Heard that. All right. Well, yeah, you work with some good. You work with some legends on legends.
Yeah, and they worked with a legend.
That's what I'm saying. You know, y'all they work with a legend. You work with a legend. So
and we understand. We respected, you know, one another's time and one another's talent.
Yeah, and one thing I could say and plug myself in here and say, you know, I had the honor of interviewing all of y'all. So you know, I had busy, crazy, all of them. And now Adina. So yeah, this is cool. What was your favorite collaboration so far?
I don't have one. Because it's always been work for me. So I've not ever got excited like, oh my gosh, I'm about to work with. It was like, let's just go to work and let's get it.
Okay. So collaborate.
Because for me, let me say this. Studio has always been manual labor. And that's usually the last place I want to be. Like being in the studio is not fun. It's work. And so, you know, getting in the studio, I'm just like, okay, we're going to work and we're going to do what, you know, I'm going to show up and do what I've been called to do and getting paid to do. And I'm going to keep it moving.
Okay. Yeah, collaborations is a thing that I really love to see artists do. So I ask these questions. So you're not really big on collaborations, whether you in there doing it by solo by yourself, or if you gotta, you know, you're in the studio with Michael Jackson, it don't matter to you.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm not big on collaborations. I'll just say that at the end of the day, it's par for the course. You know, if it's Michael, if it's Prince, if it's Whitney, if it's Jasmine Sullivan, if it's Beyonce, if it's, you know, whomever that's in the industry, I'm going to show up and do my part. Because one of the things that artists respect, because we're business people, you know, and that's the main thing we are, you know, we're about our business, is showing up. I think that's probably the most impressive, is showing up and doing what is expected. And then, you know, from that, once you finish that space, then, you know, you can move into, you know, oh my gosh, I love you, or whatever the case may be. But I've just not ever been like starstruck with the individuals that I was scheduled to collaborate with. It was because I think the pressure was on to deliver. And that was my only focus. Because it doesn't matter who you're working with, who you're collabing with, if you don't deliver, then that's going to create a whole nother situation. Okay.
So when these collaborations that you have done, these were scheduled for you. These aren't, you never, you know, went to the label or anything and was like, hey, I specifically want to work with someone in particular.
No.
Okay. It's a little different for me, but I can dig it. I like,
well, you know, everybody's, you know, journey is different. You know, everybody's, you know, way of doing things and how it unfolds is, you know, always going to be individualized, customized to the person.
Yeah. One thing I'm digging about this interview so far is it is different. You know, like this line of questioning is definitely a different direction than when I usually ask questions. You know, people, oh yeah, I can't work. I really want to work with John Legend, or, you know, like stuff like that. But I get it.
Now, don't get it twisted. If somebody said, you know, John Legend or Bruno Mars, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt.
See, now we getting somewhere.
You know, but I'm still going to show up and, you know, do what is expected.
Yeah. Okay.
The professional part of me is always going to precede the fangirl in me.
All right. Okay. All right. Cool. I introduced you as a chef these days. When I asked you, like, what you cooking? You got the culinary arts degree. Oh, first of all, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So yeah, what we cooking though?
You know what? It really all depends on what you want to eat. I am the same way that I am with my music is the same way I am with my food. I'm not just getting in there to cook for the sake of cooking. What do you want? Tell me what you want so I can show up and show out. But just to be getting in for the sake of getting in and putting that type of labor on me, I'm not here for that.
Yeah. So culinary art school, let's just keep it real. We grew up on collard greens and cornbread, black eyed peas, stuff like that. Like, they don't teach you how to cook that kind of stuff. Like, what you learning in the culinary arts?
So I went to Le Cordon Bleu, and it was French style cooking.
Okay.
So it was a little more cultured, a little more polished. Sauces and learning how to dice and slice, juliennes and all of this, foo-foo stuff. But baby, please overstand something. A broad can get in the kitchen and make some collard greens, some black eyed peas, and some cornbread. Don't even trip. Don't even trip. The school part was my plan B.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I could cook anyway, so it didn't even make a bit of difference. It was just, putting something in place so that when I stepped into those spaces, I was qualified.
Yeah. You just getting that.
I'd rather, to make sure to really put me in a space where I would get a yes instead of a no.
Got you. I can follow that. So, what are we doing with this? Are we got a restaurants anywhere, something like that? Any restaurants coming, something like that? I don't know.
Well, it really depends on, how I feel right now. That's not my focus. My focus at this moment is my new venture called SheEO. And SheEO is a new asset class for female legacy artists and mid-career pivot women, where I'm working on making sure that we get cash plus equity, where we not only build the table, but we're able to sit at the table and benefit from, the wealth that we create. And so SheEO is what my focus is right now. And SheEO means shamelessly helping elevate each other. And it's solely for, women, 100% female ran and about us.
Okay. Now, is this music related, or how does this, So SheEO is, I wouldn't necessarily, it's music related, but not music related. So music related in the sense that the women that are targeted for SheEO are legacy female artists, but again, as well as mid-pivot career women. So a lot of times we, as women, we age out of the industries that we're in. And a lot of times, not only aging out, but we're also in a space where we're ready to do something different because we pretty much juiced the turnip. And now we're like, okay, what's next for me? And it's helping to give direction for that. Okay, so
because women's influence, our influence is amazing. If it weren't for female influence, a lot of, the products and things that you see right now wouldn't even exist. And think about it, when you're looking at a lot of fashion, the majority of the fashion industry is men, wanting women in clothes because that's how much we influence.
Okay. So with the SheEO, like, correct me if I'm wrong or give me some guidance here. Is this kind of like a mental health thing or like a seminar type of thing, or?
So SheEO is a platform where we build equity and long-term wealth for women who have been in the music industry, as well as, corporate America. However, we do address mental health illness. We do address the things that women have to deal with on a regular basis, and making sure that we're able to cope with the high stress that we're dealing with being women, especially women of color. But it's not specifically a platform for mental health issues. This isn't a nonprofit. This is a for-profit organization. However, Crown and Compass that I have is a nonprofit organization that will also be addressing that as well.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Let me kind of backtrack back to this culinary arts one more time.
Okay.
Because of what I understand too, you also have a wine brand.
I do. It's called Indelible.
Indelible. Okay.
Yes. Unforgettable.
What makes this wine unique from other wines?
Well, first of all, it's Adina Howard's wine. Yeah. That's first and foremost. Yeah. But also, it is a wine that has been aged in French oak for over 10 years. Mm-hmm. And the alcohol volume is 15.96%, I believe. And it's a semi-sweet bourbon-like finish. It's a really, but I'm biased though. It's an amazing wine.
Yeah, now
it's a wine. It's a red.
I can't deal with that. I was just gonna say I can't deal with that dry stuff. Man,
no, this is not dry by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. It's well balanced, so it's semi-sweet. Okay. It's not very tanny at all, but at the end of the day, it's really, really good if you decide that you want to sit down. If you're a cigar smoker. Uh-huh. It'll go really, really nice with a cigar. It'll go nice with a really good steak, dessert, or just, it being by itself. It's a really smooth and fragrant wine that you would definitely appreciate. It's very sophisticated, to say the least.
All right. As an artist, one more thing about as an artist, how have you changed as an artist over the years?
Who I was is not who I am. Mm-hmm. And so the 21-year young Adina Howard is definitely not the 52-year young Adina Howard, right? So the way I show up now is not the way I would have showed up when I was 21. I'm about relationships. I'm about making sure that I'm in alignment with where I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do. And I'm more thoughtful and more mindful than I used to be. And that comes with age. One of the things that I've learned over the years, and there's a saying that says growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. I chose the latter, to grow up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, I love it because I think it takes me right to this song we were waiting on. I Overstand. Would you say that's a reflection of that? How you've changed over the years?
Absolutely. Life happens in real time. Mm-hmm. And so when you go through things and you have to grow through what you're going through and you make it out on the other side of it all, you should come back different. You should come back more mature. You should show up in a way that you wouldn't have showed up before. Mm-hmm. And so with this particular song, going through and growing through everything that I've been through has made life, has created me to be more empathetic and compassionate and kind. Because I feel like a lot of times when you're younger, you don't have that capacity and the space for that because you haven't really experienced much. And so with all of the changes and the trials and the tribulations that I had to go through to get to this point, the song is definitely a part of, a page from my diary.
Okay. Yeah. Talk to us about the song. I'm gonna definitely play this song, and I want you to, give us a little bit of.
So I Overstand. When I was going through a dark, I was in a dark space and place in my life, and again, we all go through it. It was a situation where I had to have those growing pains. I had to be in a space and place that, for the most part, I wouldn't necessarily say break me or broke me, but it definitely put me in a space of, okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to be still and let God work, because this is bigger than me. This is beyond anything that I can do, and this is out of my control. And to be able to just lean on and overstand that this too shall pass, that everything in this life is temporary. And this isn't to hurt and harm you. This is to heal you and to help you move forward. And for you to be able to relate to other people. So when other people, you know, you hear another person's story, you're not disconnected.
Okay.
You get it.
And you wrote this record yourself?
I wrote the record, yes, a little over 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And so, like, you know, a lot of people think of overstand as kind of like a made-up word. Like, what does overstand mean, or what does it mean to you?
It means that I get it.
You get it.
It means that I get it. I can relate. You know, I am not disconnected from what you're saying, even though I may not have had the exact story, you know, within my chapter. Pain is pain, loss is loss, hurt is hurt, you know, disappointment is disappointment. It's all relative at the end of the day. And I get it because I've had my journey where, you know, I was going through something and I didn't feel like I was going to make it through. So I get it. It's definitely a deeper connection and being able to have that empathy and compassion for someone else, not being selfish.
For sure. Any particular streaming platform that you want to direct people to listen to this song, or where can they hear it?
No, they can go there. You know, all of the digital platforms that are available that are playing it, they can go to adinahoward.com if they want to listen to it. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it's really not about a specific platform. It's about getting the music to the masses because somebody out there needs to hear that message. Because too many people are taking themselves out because they feel like no one gets it. You know, no one is understanding, you know, their plight. And so for me, it's not about, go here, go there. Just listen to the song.
Yeah. And you mentioned the website. Is there anything about the food or anything like that on the website, or like what can people do when they go to the website?
So when you go to adinahoward.com, you're gonna see, you know, of course, about the wine, and you're going to hear about, you know, the new single. But it's just getting to know a little bit more about me and finding out where I'll be performing in the future. Okay. Check out adinahoward.com.
Yeah, check it out. Y'all make sure y'all run those numbers up too. I overstand. Adina Howard. My voice is getting a little scratchy here.
Let me get you some water.
Yeah, I need a little something.
Sip.
But before we get up out of here, I got a couple more questions I definitely want to ask you. One being, we touched on a lot of things. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that we definitely got to let the people know before we get up out of here?
Is there anything we touched on? CEO. We touched on the fact that I've been in the industry for over 30 years. Mm-hmm. 2026 is 31 years that I've been in the industry. We need to make sure they go to social media. You know, they can go to Instagram, The Real Adina Howard. They can go to Facebook, Ms. Adina Howard. Let's see, TikTok, The Real Adina Howard. YouTube, Ms. Adina Howard. So I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I gotta get you.
You were very thorough.
Well, I appreciate that. I gotta get you to accept my friend request or something, because I tried to tag you and it wouldn't let me tag you. I don't know. Like, maybe you looked at me and was like, Calico, nah, you know. No. We gotta be friends. We gonna be friends. I want to be friends with you.
Okay.
So you drop your social media there. So you got any shows coming up? Any kind of events coming up?
So right now we're actually going to the UK. We'll be in what is it? Rumford, England, February 28th for DJ Venom for his birthday party at Club Velvet. So I'll be in the UK. I'll be in the England area, close to London.
All right, let me do my little shameless plug. My birthday party, this weekend. Valentine's Day. Anybody y'all want to pull up, man? Valentine's Day, we doing it big for DJ Calico. Yeah, we got some R&B and some comedy going down. Chantel's Restaurant. Y'all come on out there.
Okay, for Chantel's Restaurant.
Chantel's, yeah. I'm B47, man. Check that out. You know what I mean?
look at you.
Yeah.
You still kind of a baby. You ain't made it to the 50 club yet.
Listen, I told you I was looking at them shorts on that.
When you get to the 50 cent, please let me know.
Hey, man. But yeah, so I want to definitely, give you time and give you shout outs and stuff like that after this last and final question, which is serious to me. Want to know, when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered? As a person, as an artist, whatever you choose.
How do I want to be remembered? That's a very good question. Let's see. I want to be remembered as someone who was kind, who was loving, who did God's work. Even though it may not have been in the space in which a lot of people would have preferred, so to speak, because everybody wants to be the director of your own life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't need you to produce or direct my life. You need to work on yours. But to just know that at the end of the day, she was a child of God. She loved doing right by people, and she was a woman of integrity, of love, honor, and respect. And she showed up when she was supposed to.
Amen. All right, well, I got my fellas in here, man. So I gotta ask the brothers. How y'all want to remember Adina, man? Freak. My goodness.
A freak like me. So you want the 21-year young Adina Howard. You don't want the mature 52, huh?
Nah, we want I overstand Adina. We want to overstand now. We don't have.
That's maybe what you want.
Listen, I started off my CD collection. I told you now. I started off right. Well, yeah, all right. I want to give you time, give you shout outs. I had so much fun rocking with you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just shout out to all of you who are listening, to you for interviewing me, the queen that has been ever so present and quiet at the same time.
Yeah.
To all of the people that that support me and follow me, whether you're day ones or you're a new one or, in the middle of it all. Thank you for showing up for me and appreciating what I do and recognizing that my music is pivotal in your life in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I helped you get through whatever it is you were going through. And thank you for, allowing me to be part of that soundtrack of your life.
R&B legend. Listen, I want you to introduce this song. I want you to take us out with this I Overstand. But I just want to let the people know that was Adina Howard on Surreal Talk Radio. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Y'all follow us on social media. Check us out on YouTube, Calico Surrealist. If you enjoyed the show and you want to show support, contact WPRK at Rollins College. We thank you so much for rocking with us. This next joint right here, I'm going to let Miss Adina Howard introduce this song. We're going to take you out with it right here on Surreal Talk Radio.
What's up? It's Adina Howard. It's your big sister, your little sister, your auntie, your niece, your cousin, your fake baby mama. You're about to get into my new single, I Overstand.
Freak!
Overstand. I know what you're going through. I overstand. I've had my dark times too. Nobody said the road would be easy, but I can assure you it won't be like this always. So if you hold on, the clouds will soon be gone. Just a little while longer, your storm is almost over. I know you're tired of the growing pains and the rain that comes when seasons change. It won't be like this always. Just keep holding on, even when you wanna let go. I overstand. I've been there before. I've had my share of tears. I overstand. I know what it feels like to wanna give up. Don't you ever give up on you, no matter what you do. I know life is hard. I have my battle scars. Don't let it break you. No matter what you're going through, you can make it. I know it ain't easy 'cause the rain is falling. A sign of the sun on the horizon. And you're wondering, yeah, when will this all end? I overstand. I've been there before. I've had my share of tears. I overstand. I know what it feels like to wanna give up. I know that times you wanna cry, other times you wanna die. Sick and tired of this life, you're not alone. You have to do this on your own. This is helping you to grow. I know you're tired, don't let go. Keep holding on. You gon' make it through this. I know you can do this. Don't give up, keep holding on. Baby, keep your head up. You've come too far to give up. This is helping you grow. Overstand. You'll make it through this. I know you can do this. Give my share of tears. Baby, keep your head up. You've come too far to give up. This is helping you grow. Overstand. You'll make it through this. I know you can do this. Give my share of tears. Baby, keep your head up. You've come too far to give up. This is helping you grow. Overstand. You'll make it through this. I know you can do this. Give my share of tears. Baby, keep your head up. You've come too far to give up. This is helping you grow. Overstand. You'll make it through this. I know you can do this. Give my share of tears. Baby, keep your head up. You've come too far to give up. This is helping you grow.
DJ Willie C in the mix with DJ Lorinda.
Check it out, man. This is your boy Weezy F, man.
Hey, this is Ron Isley, the Isley Brothers.
This is Jay-Z.
DJ Lorinda, DJ Willie C, and DJ Sunday Train.